Welcome back to Little White Books. This is episode 11, a special extended edition that covers a special day. A day of clarity, chaos, and consequence, which Mr. Men now refer to as the Purge. The sixth wave was coming, but not quite yet. A month before their arrival, their little white books began to appear, one by one, like the windows of an advent calendar, each opening to reveal new friends, new lands, perhaps a new world. A world without Mr. Land. To start us off, this is Miss Naughty.
The books were delivered on a daily basis. If there were 7 in a house, by the week's end, there were 50 books. And they didn't stop after a week. By day 20, Bossy called an emergency meeting. Attendance was mandatory.
Failure to attend will be treated as an act of sedition.
The town hall meeting was about the books. We didn't know what to do with them. Afterwards, it became about the new sixth wave people themselves and why they hadn't shown up yet.
Have a new book.
What's
Have
this?
one more. Have another
Mr.
book.
Perfect.
And some
More books.
Here's another
Enough.
book. This one is
Oh,
fun.
another one.
Tomorrow's book
Is this a
better,
curse?
more than just one.
Oh, for pity's sake, another.
Have
This
another
is
book.
madness.
Have 5 more.
Make it stop.
Here's the
A
next
sea of
book.
words.
Have some
Even
more.
on a Sunday. How dare they?
This is Miss Neat.
That day's book was about Mr. Crosspatch, a man so violent he couldn't make any friends.
Je vais te faire mal.
The day before, it was Mr. No, who just said no to everything. So negative, honestly.
No, I'm not.
Everyone was on edge, worried about all the new arrivals. People had opinions about everything. The town hall felt like a firework, ready to explode. Like the blue torch paper and step back, you know?
Right, can someone come pick me up? I can't see.
Mr. Silly.
We brought our books with us to the town hall. Mine were frozen solid because I kept mine in the freezer. Mr. Nonsense made his into sandwiches and stuffed them in a hamper.
Mr. Chatterbox.
Oh yes, you wouldn't believe it. A huge pile of little white books. Then someone had an idea.
And Mr. Strong.
You'd think the usual suspects. Mr. Mischief, Miss Naughty, Miss Trouble. But no, it was Mr. Fussy. In a bold, clear voice, he called out, "Fire!"
This is Miss Tiny.
I thought it was a wonderful idea. Like in the old days, when we used to cook sausages and marshmallows on the campfire, or fireworks night. A lovely big bonfire where we could get rid of all these strange books. I didn't even think they were real. Mr. Worry said they were fake.
And Mr. Grumpy.
I held on to my copy of Mr. Grumble. And I reckon that saved him. I read it and I thought, oh, that could have been me. And people wouldn't tell you this, but it wasn't just the sixth wave books in that fire. I remember thinking, who's burning their copy of my book? Now, I felt safe knowing my book was in the library, but I don't know, you never know. Libraries burned down.
I worked it out once, you know. More than 1,000 books went up in smoke that night. And that wasn't all, like furniture, paintings, all sorts got chucked on the fire. No wonder it blazed on till dawn.
Underneath the midnight sky, the campfire's burning bright. Ages turn to ashes in the flickering light.
We burn the books to cleanse our minds. In the fire's glow our peace we find. Fewer souls, stronger tides, overwhelmed by strangers' cries.
Hello, this is Mr. Mean.
Oh, good afternoon, young man. I'm calling to ask a favor.
Oh, it's you. I thought you were locked away.
Oh yes, of course I am. 2 years into my life sentence for high treason, I expected no less, only the best for a first-wave patriarch. Oh, Meanie, how I've missed you.
Last time I spoke to you was 12 years ago. Wrong number.
A fabulous story, thank you. Right, straight to business then. I assume you're up to date with the new books. By my calculations, the bus would arrive next Wednesday.
It's coming tomorrow.
Don't be ridiculous. Not all the books have arrived yet. Miss Loud will be the new patriarch of Loudland, so Happy will have to roll the whole thing back.
We're having a meeting tonight, and the bus comes in the morning.
Oh, but the plan. This is terrible. Mr. Clever is going to destroy Nonsense Land. He's going to convert all the humans. There will be over 2,000 new Mr. Men. Do you really want that, Mean? Are you prepared to stand by when you could have done something to prevent such a travesty?
Travesty? Now you're sounding like Mr. Clever.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Listen, I've enjoyed this conversation, but I'm getting a little bored now, so I will need to hang up.
Wait, please be patient with me as I conjure up a new plan, referring only to notes scratched into my prison wall. Now let's see. Yes, Happy is going to stage some kind of fracas, a public fiasco, like the election, bespoke distractions, moving parts, confusion and violence. Mischief's been told to set fire to the magic bus, so it could be that.
Isn't he locked up with you?
No, not at all. Half the prison has been emptied, the inmates sent to Topsy-Turvy Land for more digging, but Clever's turning the machine up to Maximilian. Full power, every drop amplitude squeezed from the stone. The machine will explode, or implode. Who knows? Well, Happy knows. He's sending everyone he doesn't like to Topsy-Turvy Land.
So you want me to stop him?
Your second wave. I wouldn't trust a third waver with this. You could kidnap Mr. Funny. If it all goes wrong, at least he'll be undone too.
What precisely do you want me to do? Bust you out of jail?
Not me. Mr. Dizzy.
I beg your pardon.
Clever will be completely useless if he thinks Dizzy's at large, tied up in knots, in doubt, in fear. He might even forget his plan if he thinks Dizzy's been in his bathroom.
And when exactly would you like this to happen?
So, let's see. Your place is only about 5 minutes away, isn't it? Just over the hill. Shall we say, what? In 6 minutes' time?
Right now, then?
If that's not too much trouble.
Of course not. Why not? Me. Mr. Mean. The outsider. Smiles don't come easy. Laughter sounds rehearsed. Companionship's a concept I skimmed in a book I never finished. I live alone. Can't cook. Won't clean. Forget to eat. Chair with no legs. Table on bricks. Mean with money. Mean with time. Mean in spirit. Mean to the bone. See the worst in people. Call it instinct. And now you want me to help. Chip in. Save the day. Not for Mr. Land, no, for the inhabitants, the fools, the freaks, even the humans, Topsy, even the humans. Preserve the whole teetering mess so little Miss Brainy can show up with her clipboard and tell us where we've all gone wrong. You want me to save them? You who wouldn't urinate on a human if it was on fire? And yet, even you, from your velvet perch, even you can't picture a world where 2,000 Mr. Men just arrive, exist, live. Well, maybe I want that future. Maybe I do.
Okay. Well, you've used up a good few minutes there. Are you going to help or not?
I suppose so. I'll get my coat.
Give me a call. I'm all ears. The call center's open. We're right here. Speak to me now. I won't delay. I'll remember everything you say.
We're lucky to have a lot of recorded phone conversations from this time. I spoke to Miss Chatterbox to understand why.
Oh yes, everything was recorded. That's why we called it the call center. If certain words were mentioned, then a copy of the recording was sent to Happy. I had to listen to everything. Or sometimes it wasn't me. Sometimes it was my brother, but he wasn't much good because he talks too much.
Do you remember what words were on the list?
I think not, no.
Right, sure. Okay, so in the lead up to the sixth wave, there was a lot of chatter, things like revolution or overthrowing the government.
That's right.
Okay, great. The recording we just heard was of Mr. Topsy-Turvy warning Mr. Mean about political undesirables being sent into danger. Do you have recordings that back that up?
Suppose so, yeah.
Could we hear one?
Okay, yes.
Thanks. This is a conversation between Mr. Snooty and Mr. Messy.
Hello? Listen, Messy. I know I don't know you as well as I should, but I want you to know how grateful I am for what you've been doing.
Grateful, is it? For what?
You've given the nitwits purpose.
Oh, well, I suppose so.
Something to focus on.
Funny's been a big hand in that, truth be told.
Funny?
He has. Don't get me wrong now. I'm not saying I like him or anything, but he's been, well, like a sheepdog.
Interesting.
And Mr. Wrong, too. Don't forget about him.
No, I haven't. Of all the things you've dug up, have they all been about Mr. Men we already know?
What do you mean, sir?
I mean, it's always been a Mr. Mean lunchbox or a Miss Neat knife and fork. Never something, or someone new like a Mr. Envelope or Miss Trousers or something ridiculous like that.
Oh, I get you now. No, it's all been about us. You're thinking about the sixth wave, aren't you?
Yes, I've been speaking to Happy. He's got a theory. But you must not talk to anyone. Do you understand?
Ah, sure, lips are sealed.
The sixth wave. They're going to be trouble. I don't think they're Mr. Men at all. I think they're some kind of superior form of nitwit. If they gain control over our nitwits, the real Mr. Men will be outnumbered. It could be catastrophic. Can I count on you?
To do what, exactly?
To keep the nitwits safe.
Oh, of course.
Good.
You can count on me for that.
When the sixth wave bus comes, get the nitwits to the dig. Lock the gates and barricade it, but keep them at the dig. Can you do that for me? For them?
I hear you loud and clear. I'll see it done.
As we learn more about how this day played out, I wanted to bring you some of the personal stories of those who were affected. Here's Mr. Wrong and Miss Scatterbrain.
I didn't get to go to the meeting because I wasn't well enough, unfortunately. So Miss Scatterbrain went for me. We'd been forced to live together in Misterland, both of us on the red team. After the big shrink, we decided to get married, mostly for a laugh. It was a good day. But then, not long after, I made the mistake of falling in love.
I did like Mr. Wrong very much at first, but I made the mistake of thinking he was easygoing, not a care in the world. I was wrong. He didn't care about himself, but he did care for me. Too much. He'd often ask where I was going, maybe hoping it was something exciting or new. But he never came out with me. He worked long hours, often coming home with grey patches on his skin. One day, I saw he had a lump on the back of his head, quite big. I told him to go and see Miss Magic at the hospital.
It's fine.
But he ignored me.
I like it. Don't fuss.
If it had been on my head, it would have been a different story. A couple of weeks later, when he was asleep, I checked it myself. It hadn't grown, but it looked shriveled like a prune. Then I realized those wrinkles were the start of eyelids and a little mouth. This was the new depths of wrongness. Who knew what it was going to say? Probably some disgusting comments. He'd love that, wouldn't he? Maybe in French.
I was getting more ill, but I couldn't help myself. I couldn't just stay at home. I hated it. I'd go to the barrel, but Trouble would only let me have one drink. Mr. Messy always called the night before to see if I was going to come to work. But on the night of the fire, Happy himself came here. He stood right there by the window.
I wish I'd been home to hear what Happy had to say for himself. Why did Happy want my husband gone? He knew what was going to happen. He knew. What had Mr. Wrong ever done to him?
He said tomorrow was a special day. The sixth wave was coming. The new wave. I told him I wasn't well enough for any of that. He told me to go to work. Because, well, that would be wrong.
I wasn't there. I missed it all. I put my valuables in my shopping trolley and put all the new books on top to hide it all. I wasn't coming back. I'd had enough of him and that weird little face on his back staring at me. I thought maybe I'd move in with one of the new people. I'd find a way.
It's the morning after the fire, with the flames still crackling, kept alive through the night by those who didn't sleep. The recordings that follow may not be in perfect order. I've tried to keep things clear, but each person remembers it differently, depending on where they were and what they saw, starting here with Miss Neat and then Mr. Grumpy.
I saw the bus coming in the distance, but I didn't go to meet it. I was outside with a big broom sweeping up. The flames had burned out, leaving soot and ash behind, and a lot of us realised just how awful what we'd done really was.
Well, I went outside to see this Mr. Grumble character, but he wasn't interested in my hospitality or making pals. He said he just wanted to go fishing, so, fair enough, I left it to him. But, I was glad to see him safe and sound, because I knew there was going to be trouble.
This is what Mr. Messy remembers.
Snooty had it in his head that I'd keep the nitwits safe. Stay at the dig, keep them working, and when the bus came, get as many of them out of the way as I could. For that night, I stayed at the fire. Miss Star had noticed me.
Messy keeps us safe from darkness yet untold.
So I wasn't going anywhere. She woke me up early, saying the bus was coming. Now, that wasn't part of the plan. The bus always comes at noon. We all thought we had until lunchtime. She stood there, still so elegant in the middle of all the dust and madness, like a beautiful lighthouse. She could have gone home, but she stayed, and then handed me a baseball bat. She'd had her instructions too. We were all just happy as chess pieces.
Think I'm ready. My name is Miss Fun, and I'm a 6th wave survivor. Sorry. I remember sitting on that bus, dozing off, feeling safe for just a moment, until I jolted awake. It was early, still grey outside, but a glimmer of sunshine. They call it magic hour, don't they? I had my bag on my lap, and Miss Pretty was next to me.
Good morning.
Her perfume smelt lovely, and she had a beautiful, calming smile. I felt nervous, but she looked at me to say it was going to be all right.
Mr. Land, welcome to Mr. Land. Don't get off the bus, are you one of us? Don't be making a fuss, stay with us on the bus.
The bus stopped, and we all stood, slow and sleepy, shuffling out into the aisle. We were tired, but there was something else, this strange feeling, like we were heading into something unknown. Then the smell hit me. Smoke, thick, dirty. It clung to the air. The walls around us, blackened, covered in soot. Miss Blunder stumbled on the steps by the doorway. I turned to give her room, but when I looked back, she was gone. Just like that. Vanished. I scanned the bus for her, and then the man with the red nose, who'd been right behind me, gone too. I thought maybe the bus had a back door, maybe they'd slipped out. But we were all off by then.
What?
When I looked again, there were only half of us left outside.
Did I just imagine that?
I searched for Miss Pretty. Her perfume still lingered, but she was gone. I tried to tell myself she'd dropped something, maybe her lipstick, and was down on the floor looking for it. But the bus was empty. Completely empty. We just stood there, silent. We didn't know each other. No one said a word. How could we? What could we say? I wanted to scream, but no one else was, so I didn't. Then as the bus pulled away, I saw them. A gang of Mr. Men, scarves tied over their mouths, cricket bats and clubs in their hands. And all I could think was, welcome to Mr. Land.
By rights, I was still doing what Snooty told me to do. I didn't love the nitwits, but when they were at the dig, They were under my watch. I had a duty to protect them. Then the sixth wave stepped off the bus. They had that same dazed, disconnected look as the nitwits, but they were talking. I saw what I wanted to see. These strangers weren't like us. I thought, this is it. We're being invaded.
Purge the sixth wave, clear them out, cleanse Mr. Land, make it pure. Don't stop there, remove all doubt. Don't stop there, remove.
I threw stones, I did. It was wrong of me, I know. But I just wanted them to get back on that bus and gone. When some of them ran, I thought maybe I could salvage Snooty's plan. Get the nitwits together and evacuate them to safety. But it was too late. Bossy arrived, arrested most of us, and dragged us to the town hall. I stood there, dirt smeared across me, and I thought about the nitwits, about what would happen to them. And then I realized it was all out of my hands. I was heading back to that prison.
My God, you're disgusting.
The early arrival of the sixth wave of little white books acted as advance notice, giving a glimpse of who was coming. In some cases, it meant someone could be moved to safety. One example was Miss Curious, whose book said she belonged in Nonsense Land. Here's Mr. Silly, who came to greet her when she arrived.
I stood at the bus stop, scanning the road for any sign of Miss Curious. She was new, a tiny little thing, wandering around with wide eyes, dazed and confused. They all were, these new arrivals, stumbling into Mr. Land with no idea what had been happening here. Suddenly, Mr. Rush pulled up in his black Maserati, tires screeching to a halt. He was here to collect Miss Quick, and he barely had time to open the door before she jumped into the passenger seat and yelled,
"Drive! Go! Go!"
He saw the danger, the gang, and he saw us standing there. He hesitated.
Come on, hurry!
Was the world so broken now that even Mr. Rush would abandon us? I took Miss Curious's hand and he snapped out of it. He called us over to the car, but just as he turned back, a stone flew through the air, hitting him right between the eyes. Mr. Rush crumpled to the ground, unconscious. Can't you see there's a child here? I didn't know why I'd said that. Miss Curious wasn't a child, not really. None of the Mr. Men have children. But in that moment, she seemed so small and vulnerable, eyes wide with terror as the gang closed in.
What are we gonna do?
They had covered their faces with scarves, but the firelight flickered just enough to reveal who they were. Mischief, naughty, trouble, but also some unexpected faces. Miss Giggles, her usual laugh twisted into something dark. And Mr. Messy.
What are you doing here?
Behind them were some nitwits, dazed and confused. Rocks thrust into their hands by Mischief, who pointed out where to throw. Grabbing Mr. Rush's keys, I bundled everyone into the car, jumped into the driver's seat, my hands shaking as I held on tight to the steering wheel. We sped away, but then some of them chased us on motorbikes.
Mr. Silly, something's wrong.
As we hurtled down the road, something strange began to happen. The world outside the windows shifted, the familiar streets twisting into unfamiliar paths. I didn't know if the motorbike gang had taken a different turning, or if they had disappeared into a new reality. I followed signposts which pointed to places I'd never heard of. Trees and hills seemed to rise out of nowhere. The world felt warped, like we'd crossed into another place entirely.
Why is it called a land shift?
I saw a bright flash from the direction of Topsy-Turvy Land, like lightning that lit up the sky. In that moment, I felt the human world trying to push its way in.
What's going on?
I've never known anything like this. Maybe Happy was right all along about the threat from humans.
We're not humans. We're the Mr. Men.
Then, as the fog lifted, I saw it. A towering concrete wall, looming large and stark against the horizon, dividing Mr. Land and Nonsense Land. There, at the border, stood Mr. Nonsense himself, clutching a thick instruction manual, grinning from ear to ear. "Welcome," he announced, patting the wall. "It's state-of-the-art, built in Germany. It's called a Berlin Wall." He was over the moon.
Here's a tape recording from Mr. Topsy-Turvy's archive.
Afternoon, Mr. Happy. Thought I'd pop a little cassette in the post. Seemed only fair, seeing as you sent one to everyone else not so long ago. By now, I expect you've noticed your grand scheme to destroy Nonsense Land hasn't quite gone as planned. Sorry about that. Still, silver linings. There's only one patriarch left in your way. Oh, not me. No. What is a patriarch without a land, after all? Tick, tick, tick. You see, I undid Topsy-Turvy Land and took that wretched machine with it too, but don't worry, no one was harmed. I made sure of that. All those poor souls blindly following orders. Turned out they were easily persuaded, especially when they came face to face with something you've never quite managed. Authority. That's always been your flaw, Happy. Skulking in the shadows might keep you safe, but it doesn't make people do what they're told. Not really. Still, we're friends, aren't we? And I did manage to fulfill one of your wishes. Oh, yes. No, not 1,000 new Mr. Men. I'm afraid that game's run its course. But land? Oh, I've given you land. Miles of it. More than you'll ever need. And far, far more than you'll ever be able to control. Oh, and I brought the old lands back too. So Mr. Clever can be a patriarch again. Fancy that. Not that he deserves it. Leaving his machine unattended like that. Practically inviting someone to meddle. Still, I'm sure he had a good reason.
You should be happy, believe me.
We've just heard that the land shift didn't happen in the night, while the Mr. Men slept. Instead, it took place in broad daylight. But before we get to that, we're going to rewind to the moment just after the bus arrived. This part of the story comes from Miss Bossy.
We kept order with zero tolerance for trouble. Anyone caught throwing stones was arrested immediately. Once that were under control, I turned to sorting out the housing mess.
I'm looking for Miss Blunder, but the list says Miss Careful.
You had one job. Happy had left us a list. Some names were already crossed out. Miss Loud? Gone. Miss Busybody? Not coming. Fine by me. Most were slotted into accommodations, but 3 were marked for emergency housing. That meant the nitwit ghetto. Miss Wise, though, was listed for direct delivery to Happy's cottage. When I brought her there, I didn't stop at the door. I barged right in. What the hell is going on? 24 books, but only 13 got off the bus? Inside, Happy was sitting with his usual freaks, Tickle, Sunshine, Impossible, and Mr. Brave. He hadn't even unpacked, just sat there like he was in the business class airport lounge. What makes you special and these others rejects? Why did the new people get houses while I have to sleep on a camp bed in Mr. Grumpy's front room? He just stood there, hands behind his back, with that big fake smile, trying to be all mysterious. But I said to him, I have the authority of the majority, and the majority says, we're sick of you and your lies. I want you gone. I don't care where you go or what happens to you. You can vanish like the others who didn't get off that bus. He turned and looked at Mr. Impossible. There was a moment of silence, like they were talking without speaking. Mr. Brave looked up from his newspaper and gave me a polite smile before starting a crossword. Without looking at me, Impossible walked away, back into kitchen. Reality kicked in as I realised Impossible could have undone me with a snap of his fingers. I stepped back and realised my legs weren't working properly.
I honestly don't care, Bossy. Mr. Clever isn't where he is meant to be. If you want to make a change, then you find him and bring him here. Now get out.
Miss Sunshine smiled at me. I could feel the heat on my face. Mr. Tickle's arms slithered on the floor like snakes. He's not looking at me, but he's ready. I swore to myself never be in that situation again. Next time, I'll be ready. Forewarned and forearmed. Now, run.
Now, before we return to Nonsense Land, I'm going to play this last phone call of this episode. It will help fill in some of the blanks of what happened to Topsy-Turvy Land.
Who is this, please?
It's me, Mr. Mean. I thought I'd call because I'm here in your flat with Mr. Dizzy, and he's had some kind of accident.
What are you saying to me?
Your friend, Mr. Dizzy. He's a messy one, isn't he? I had no idea. They opened the prison gates, so I couldn't just let him wander around. I'm sure you'll agree. Too much of a risk. He wanted to surprise you, thought it'd be nice. I figured best to sit him down with one of your DVDs until you got here.
Oh, please, no.
Oh, it's an amazing collection, isn't it? Of course, Mr. Dizzy. Well, you know what he is like. All the discs out of their cases all over the floor now. He just can't help himself. This honey you've got here is very nice, by the way. Is it from Cleverland?
Please put that back. It reminds me of home.
Right.
I cannot attend to this.
I'll let him know.
My work is too important.
Oh, found a DVD in a drawer. Cleverland. Birds and the Bees, Volume 2. Is there a Volume 1 somewhere?
You should not be watching that. It is a nature documentary.
Oh, hang on. Don't use that. He spilled honey all over the discs and is trying to mop it up with sandpaper. Of all things, I hope Mr. Clumsy brings his mop. He can help me clear up all this glitter too.
I can be there in an hour.
No rush. I'm just calling Mr. Funny to see if he wants to come along too.
Time for some nonsense in the nonsense land.
I was lost, the awful tower ahead of me like a pin pushed into a map. It was farther than I had ever seen it. The world had grown. I walked faster, pushing my trolley ahead of me, my arms aching with every step on the rough tarmac. Nonsense Land. I was headed there. It would be safe. I couldn't tell if it was dawn or dusk. How I got there was a blur. I remembered the bus, driving past with its blank faces all set forward, like toys that hadn't been switched on. They didn't have any memories yet. Maybe I was close to where they came from. I wondered if my mind was being wiped like theirs. Nonsense Land came closer, but so did the noise, screaming or something close. My stomach churned with fear. Was this the end? The final reckoning for the humans? Maybe all those who hid had finally been found, and whatever was happening to them was worse than anything I could imagine. Like one of Mr. Clever's machines. Then I saw it. The wall, tall like a castle. I couldn't see any kind of gate or opening, so I climbed, up, until I reached the top. On the other side, I saw him.
Enjoyment of view? New wall of mine you are standing on.
Hello, is that you, Mr. Nonsense?
Myself it is, yes.
He waved, then pointed to the crowd. There was no battle, no blood, just laughter and music. It was a festival, a party. They were all wearing green hats, like mine, like his.
Can I come to your party, please?
Oh, most welcome.
I'd love some of that cake.
Happy to share with yourself, Lady of Red. Reminiscent of Parisian dancer.
He smiled. It wasn't just any smile. It was special. He knew.
There was nothing wrong about Mrs. Wrong.
Let's go to Nonsense Land. We are from Mr. Land. Time to meet the humans. We are the Mr. Man.
When I saw the flash in the sky, I panicked. Scatterbrain was out there. I grabbed my coat and ran as fast as I could. I thought, maybe something had been uncovered at the dig. Perhaps it was the rainbow engine overloading, or something even worse. She'd gone in my place. It should have been me. Now I know you may be wondering why I suddenly cared. Mr. Wrong doesn't care about anything, not even his safety. And you would be right. I still went to work and didn't give a fig about going grey, or the cuts and lesions. I didn't care at all, but I cared about Scatterbrain. I kept going on pure adrenaline until I realized Topsy-Turvy Land wasn't there anymore. It was like I'd dreamt it. Exhausted, I collapsed at the side of the road. This wasn't the kind of adrenaline hit I enjoyed. This was caring about someone. Then headlights appeared. I didn't care who it was.
Over here.
As the car drew closer, I recognized the sound of the engine.
Stop!
Old, wheezy, a hole in the exhaust.
Forgetful.
I've forgotten where I am!
I was so glad to see him. Oh, you wonderful big blueberry. The world was bigger now. Mr. Land was bigger than I had ever known. We sat in the car, wondering where to go. Then, Mr. Rush's big black sports car zoomed past, towards Nonsense Land. We followed, but not as fast. Let's head that way. Eiffel Tower. Then we saw it, the wall. Whatever you've heard, it's bigger than you can imagine. We headed to the gate. There was a party inside. Nonsense Land, too, had expanded. And they were all celebrating. Lights, music. Humans drinking good old worm beer. I ordered 2 and a lemonade for Mr. Forgetful. That's when I saw them. In the middle of a group of humans, my wife was playing Twister with Mr. Nonsense, in front of everyone. Both of them had even taken their hats off for everyone to see. I left them to it. I don't care.
All friends together, the little Mr. Man. All friends together, lovely gold. Back to back and side by side, and on into the show.
Stay to the end to hear an important message about today's episode.
When the 6th wave comes, we'll never be happy again. We'll never be happy again.
Performing in episode 11 of Little White Books, in order of appearance, were Velenzia Spearpoint as Naughty, Nicola Proctor as Miss Bossy, Ellen Forrest as Miss Neat, Rob Jones was Mr. Silly, and Jordan Wistuba as Grumpy. Pete McGiffen played Snooty, with Peter Baker playing Messy, and Mandy Woods as Miss Scatterbrain, and Lara C played Miss Fun. And there were additional sound bites from Mike Morris, Ejikeme Etudo, Jamie A, and Simon Jackson.
This production is unofficial and not connected to, approved by, or licensed by the rights holders of the Mr. Men and Little Miss characters. All the rights to the original characters and stories belong to THOIP, a Sanrio company. You'll also hear the versions of the theme song All Friends Together throughout the series. The original was written by Dave Cooke.
Now, believe it or not, tonight's episode was inspired by true events. A few years after Roger Hargreaves' untimely death in 1988, French publishers Hachette Jeunesse released a series of Mr. Men books to tie in with an official cartoon. These were written by Viviane Cohen and Evelyne Lallemand. There were 24 titles, all in French, and you guessed it, only 13 were ever published in English. The other 11 Mr. Men never made it off the magic bus. For years, fans have urged British publishers Farshore to translate and release the missing books. You can help by visiting the show notes and signing the long-running petition. Thank you for your support.